So, hello everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and I want to welcome you here tonight, whether you're live in our audience, whether you're watching us on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, wherever you are, YouTube. We thank you so much for watching us and being here with us tonight. Now, we have a special guest for you tonight, but before I bring Francesca up, I want to remind you, if you have not already done so, please visit the Conscious Awakening Network and download our app. Go to your phone app store, just type in Conscious Awakening Network, download our phone app, go to our website, consciousawakeningnetwork.org, and you can sign up to be on our mailing list. And we would love to have you live in our audience. But of course, we love it when you watch us on replay as well. So again, thank you so much for being here. Now, tonight, our guest is Francesca Toman, and Francesca has been a conscious clairaudient channel since 1990. I think it started a little bit earlier, but we'll kind of get to that. And she's also a certified Akashic record consultant since 2008. She has worked with groups of extraterrestrials since 1995 through the I always want to say Lodestone Bridge, but I know that's incorrect, and I'm going to have you to correct me here in just a minute. And she has been channeling the spirit of Nikola Tesla since 1996. She's the author of 7 books. She's married to a computer engineer. She lives in California, and here tonight to join us to share a lot of her phenomenal experiences. Francesca, hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, hello, hello. It is a pleasure and a half.
Yay. Well, I'm so glad that you could make it tonight. And, when we were talking earlier, I believe that you told me that your mother passed away around the age of 16 when you were 16, and you
Yes.
began to have visitations from her in your dream times, and you were flying around, you were hanging out with the angels. I think you
Oh,
also
yes.
shared with me that you worked with some of the elementals, even, younger in your lifetime. So have you always been clairvoyant? Have you had clairaudience? Did that start when you were a young child? Did it start when your mother passed? If you can just share a little bit about yourself and how you got to be where you are today.
Mm. Well, it all started with Betty Bethards. I don't know if anyone remembers her, but she was quite well known in Marin County, which is where my family lived at the time. And she was a channel herself, and she had a tremendous experience with some people that had passed, and they literally picked her up off the floor and said, and she was saying, "No, no, no, don't drop me." But she taught a form of meditation, and that's where I started opening up some of my other abilities. I did not realize that I was a channel, however, until 1990. I had been studying with the Sufis in the Bay Area, and finally I came to the realization that, um, hmm, okay, I'm a channel. I was channeling my teacher's teacher, and he was giving me dictation. And I said, "All right, I'm not going to argue with him. I'm just going to take it down," and I did. But and since then, I have learned how to access the Akashic records in consultations. And I will tell you, it is very different than channeling. I started working with my ETs. This was sort of mid 1990s. And this is where I met my 2 primary contacts. One of them is Thoyantir, the other is Mirtar. But I'll show them in a moment. But I have been working on the Akashic records, and then I was channeling Nikola Tesla beforehand, and it was because I had this lovely little newsletter called Familiar Spirits, which was an offspring of my work with Spirit Speaks. Uh, long lamented, but very excellent, mag literally paper magazine. This was way back then, uh, where I would channel Obahan, who is the an old friend of mine, a town witch from Bath, England, and she had the coven name of Obahan, but she would channel information that I would give to Spirit Speaks, and I had a newsletter, and another person saw the newsletter and said, "Can you channel so and so?" And I said, "I'll try that." And I channeled so and so and channeled so and so, and then he asked me to channel a Nikola Tesla, and I said, Nicola, don't leave. You're telling me the secrets of the universe. You've got to stay here.
Oh
So
no.
I so but the work with the Lodestone Bridge uh, has been a very rich thing, partly because one of the beings is actually my star father from Sirius. Okay, we're calling up his picture, and we'll get this. Hmm. All right, we're not calling up the picture. All right, minor technical difficulties. There we go. Okay. Now, um, in the book, um, which I'll show you in a moment, um, he is not. My computer seems to be misbehaving. My apologies. I'm so used to the ETs; they have such a seamless, uh, such a seamless uh, technology that I find common technology rather frustrating. But nevertheless, let us
So
see
when
if we
you
can.
talk about the ET technology, does that mean that you have been on the craft with them and observed their technology?
Yes, the book that I have, um, which is Between Our Worlds. Hang on. All right, Between Our Worlds, the Lodestone Bridge, cultural um, extraterrestrial cultural exchange, has pictures of all of the beings of the Lodestone Bridge. It was called the Lodestone Bridge by my other ET contact, Thoyan Tier, because he said he wanted an attractive name. And lodestone, of course, is magnetite, which is naturally magnetic. So he was giving kind of a joke there. Okay. Um, hmm. I'm not quite sure how to manage this share screen. Let's try this. Okay. And well, um, I don't know if you guys could see it,
No, we
but
can't see that. Did you hit the little green
hmm,
button at the bottom?
yes, I did actually. But it seems to be uh, not working overwhelmingly well. Let's see, screen. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Oh, well,
Do you happen to have your book that you could hold up?
I would have to go to the other room. I was not quite
That's
so organized.
not a
Uh,
problem.
yeah, I had to make dinner. See quick, but I can get the book in a moment. Nevertheless, Thoyantir, it's like there are a great many beings that look very human, and indeed are human genetically, but they've been raised on different planets. One of our main new contacts is Chetrun. He is from the Galactic Center, and he looks, like he could just sort of walk around, everyday reality on Earth. He has a very expressive eyes and kind of an olive colored skin, and his hair is very fine, so it looks almost like fur. But all of these pictures are in the book. Mm. And I will, um, let's see. The book itself is partly autobiographical. I had to have some of the memories uh, drawn out of me through hypnosis because when my mother died, it was so sudden. She died of a cerebral hemorrhage. I just sort of forgot. I couldn't bear remembering her alive yesterday or the day before or the day before. And so I forgot many of my own experiences and I had to go back and collect them again. And so that's how I reconnected with Mirtar, who is my star father. I came to this galaxy from another galaxy, and he helped me go through the Orion Gate to Sirius, where I studied how to become a human being. Being a human being on Earth is not an easy process. It is rather challenging, and so there it is. Hmm. Okay,
So
let me
now
see if I can try.
the book you're referring to is called Between
Yes,
Our Worlds, the Lodestone Bridge
yes,
Extraterrestrial Cultural Exchange. And so
yes.
people are interested in purchasing that book. Can they find that on Amazon?
Mhm. Yes, they can find it
Okay.
on Amazon. I have an Amazon author page. They can also get it through Barnes and Noble. Let me see if this will open up. There's always a plan B. I'm seeing if I can. Yes, there we go. Now let me do. Okay. Hello. A share screen. Now let me know if you can see the screen. Okay. Screen. To share screen. Oh, okay. Well,
No, apparently we're not sharing screen. Ah, there we go.
there. Okay.
Now double
Let me,
click.
yeah, there is the book. This was when we took it to the LA Conscious Life Expo. And at that time, it was available soon. It is since out. It is now official. And as I say, the first part is my own direct experiences with the extraterrestrials. There are a lot of experiences in Michigan, which is where my family was at the time. And then there are some experiences in California. And then I introduced the members of the Lodestone Bridge. And we have drawings of them. And let me see if I can try this again here. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Let me show you the picture of Thoyantir that I drew. And okay, all right. It's being recalcitrant. There we go. Let's put this out of the way. That is Thoyantir. If you can imagine mixing up a lemur with a meerkat and making him 7 feet tall, that's the guy.
Okay, well, we're not seeing that.
Ah, I'm astonished. Okay. Um, well, let's try this again. Share screen. Hello, share screen. Okay. There.
No luck. There we go.
There we go. He does have these teeth, but I was never afraid of them because he is a very gentle and generous being. He has a family and he's very sweet. That is the thing. It's in the galaxy, handsome is as handsome does. Okay. Now we have here the banner. Okay. Let me put this out over here. Hello. Okay, let's put that there and put that over here. And so, okay, once again. But what we are presenting is the opportunity to mm, connect with uh, various the civilized ETs. They are um, okay. We'll try it one more time. Open up. Let's see. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see if we can see that. Okay. Ah, there we go. Uh, what we offer is an opportunity to have what I call ET postcards from home. And what these are is where I tune into your planet of origin or the planet where you studied to be a human, a human being, because it's not straightforward being human here. Uh, and then I can channel that friend, colleague, family member. Um, I'm hoping you're seeing this.
We're not able to see that. It's just a blank
Okay.
screen.
Oh, I am terribly sorry about that. Let's see what we can do here. Uh, okay. Hmm. Now let's see. Okay. We do not seem to be getting
That's okay.
much forward progress here. Okay. All right. Let me see if
Okay.
yes.
Just
Yep.
want to cancel out of the shared screen. So let me
Yeah.
ask you, how did
Yes.
you become acquainted with the beings that have now made up this Lodestone Bridge
Mhm.
project, or is this a
Yeah.
council? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. Um, the first being to connect with me actually was Mirtar, because as I said, he has been my star father. Um, he was the one who helped give me a form that was physical enough to manifest on Earth. Seem to have lost the video here. Okay. All right. Wake up video. There we go. And the second was Soyantir. And he was with me when I was very young. And when I was first born, I was put into an incubator and quite shocked and astonished. And the ETs were with me at that time, including Thoyantir and definitely Mirtar. So, but then after a while, I realized that I needed to reconnect. So I reconnected to those two. And then another being came up. Her name is Kachaseka. And she actually looks like one of the ant people that the Hopis talk of. I actually think of it as more of a lobster, but she has, large eyes and a face with, um, kind of a not exactly a beak, but I mean, not like a bird beak, but mandibles. And she has antennae, and her whole body is red and has a carapace. She lives in a very muggy and swampy world. So what she is, uh, how she is works very well for that world. Then we had mm, uh, Diet and DeBarney, and they are very human, but they have some aspects of dog to them. They have very beautiful brown, expressive eyes, and they have They do have tails. Uh, they their people love to do plays and uh, you know magnificent productions, and they live in a very desert world. So when I was first learning how to connect to these beings, I would take them with me on various trips. And DeBarney absolutely loved, uh, you know, uh, feeling how it is to be in a hot tub, because of course on his world there's not much water. So he
Mm.
thought, you know, and he absolutely adores the taste of cilantro. Now, these beings, of course, because I've known them for so long, they can connect with me at a very deep level. But the opportunity that we offer, besides the ET postcards from home and ET picture postcards from home, where I can draw the ET that you work with, uh, is also the cultural exchange. We have a method of training people to connect with selected and believe me, vetted ETs, uh, who just want to be uh, invited along when you do something wonderful. When you go see a concert, bring them along. Go see a play, bring them along. uh, Go walking in the woods or in the park, or have a birthday party with a friend. You bring them along, and they're not here to interfere with anything. They will not pester you. you know I know, because they could, and they don't. They wait for me to reach out to them. So that is what
Interesting.
we are present that's what we're presenting, is the
Yes.
opportunity to create a deeper connection and a daily connection.
Beautiful. Now, you said that when you draw someone, you can, or
Mhm.
when I guess you do a portrait of someone, maybe it's a soul portrait or whatever, but you can draw the ET that works with them. Does that mean that
Yes.
everyone has an ET, at least one ET that's working with them? And can you explain a little bit more about that?
Okay. Not everyone has an ET that is connected with them. However, there are a great many people from other planets on this planet. Yes, they came through, the usual getting born process, and some of them have been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, and they have been working and working and working to uplift humanity and raise them to the comprehension of the divine being and the essential oneness of reality. But there are a fair number of people who feel like they don't fit anywhere. They don't seem to, they don't feel at home anywhere. It's those people who are either recently extraterrestrials, or who are remembering their extraterrestrial origin. And those are the people who would most likely have an ET colleague, teacher, trainer, a friend, a family member that would be joyful, would be happy to spend every day with this person, who is actually an expatriate, a transplanted star being. So this is what we offer, is an opportunity to open that up.
So now, a moment ago, you mentioned that if I understood correctly, that you
Mm-hmm.
were brought by your star father from Sirius before
Mm-hmm.
you incarnated. Do you have memories of that process or memories of being on Sirius? And do you still work with your star father?
Last question first. I do indeed work with him. I have one of the things that we can offer is that there's a lovely little meditation where you can go visit almost anywhere. Uh,
Mm.
um, Now, the rest, the other question was.
um,
So-
that your star father brought you from
oh, right.
Sirius, and I was asking if you had memories of that.
Yeah. Um, I have more of a feeling. We didn't access the memories as such. He's right here, and he's saying that. Oh, okay. He's saying that it took me a while to get used to the Earth experience. It took me
Mhm.
quite a while to get used to, um, because human beings have shut down a lot of their telepathy. And in the main, almost all of the beings in our galaxy and all the others are telepathic first. So they don't usually work with radar or radio or sometimes perhaps lasers, but uh, they wouldn't use them for communication. They don't need to. Telepathic communication overleaps time and space beautifully. You can talk with someone who hasn't been physical in eons, as though you were talking just over the phone. You can go anywhere in the galaxy and at any moment. But that's the true nature of telepathy. It is timeless and it is spaceless. But he says that it took me a while to adjust. And my first few lives were basically, I was by myself a lot. you know, I got born, and some lives I died pretty quickly. It's kind of like I don't like it here. So he said, but he says that he was with me, and he worked to get me settled. And because he himself has been human, part of the reason why he has the face he has is because he was actually a Roman senator. And that's how I've drawn him as a Roman senator. And he has definitely spoken up in the Syrian Council for humanity. There are three councils. One is the Council on Sirius, which is delightful. Anyone can visit it. And if you can imagine this great indoor amphitheater where there's this little podium in the middle, and anyone can stand up and say anything he, she, or it wants. And then, this is like the TikTok of the universe. The second council is the Galactic Federation Council. You generally need to know somebody who knows somebody to get to speak there. But the most serious council is the Galactic Center Council, and that's where Chet Run comes in. He is a new member of the bridge uh, because he is the one who is going to oversee the process of training and vetting the citizen ambassadors, because we definitely want to have people who uh, have no malice in them, and have no intentions other than sharing of civilization, the joy of living, the joy of being.
So, mentioning the joy of living, the joy of being, is that what they preface when they talk with you? Are they sharing like messages for humanity? What type of conversations are you having?
Mm. Well, they can share such messages. A lot of that is what I've done with Nikola Tesla. He still cares about humanity so much. I've not sat. I have sat down and channeled some of the information from the ETs, and I have a newsletter, the Extraterrestrial Communications newsletter. But um, I haven't I haven't really asked them nearly as much as I might, partly because Nikola Tesla has taken a huge chunk of my time. Uh, and two of the books that I wrote with him have other people included in the book, statesmen, actors, authors, composers, uh, let's see, you know, anything from rulers from the past to, pardon me, uh, you know, um, you know, as I said, statesmen, but also suffragettes and others. So I have two books written with him and others. Now, but the ETs have told me a couple of things. One is that we are not going to blow ourselves up this time, and I know with a complete certainty. We've blown ourselves up before in past civilizations. We're not going to do it this time. There is enough light. There are enough beings from other planets here. It's just not going to happen. You know, it doesn't matter if people make noises. If it doesn't matter if they make threats. We have already gotten through the gate, so that we are already into a new reality, and this new reality definitely doesn't include blowing ourselves up.
Can you tell me more about this new reality that we're in?
Hmm. Well, this new reality, first of all, um, it will allow us to find our way to true peace. Unfortunately, peace is often been seen as like a pause between wars.
Mhm.
We are going to get rid of war. You see what has happened with Ukraine. Almost every nation on this planet has objected to the invasion of Ukraine. And this is huge. This is huge uh, because when we find our way to peace, then the extraterrestrials will come visiting. Now, but this is why we are uh, inviting the extraterrestrials to come here so that they can see, I mean, telepathically come here, so that they can see how human beings live and so that they can understand reality from the human experience so that, they don't land here and totally offend people by sheer mistake. That's Chet Run, he's saying. He knows how it is when you go to a different world and a different planet. And unless you were born there and grew up there, you can commit so many social faux pas in the first 10 minutes of talking that it's not worth the trouble.
Oh, so I want to circle back just a moment to the
Mm-hmm.
two books that you wrote with Nikola Tesla. Can
Mm-hmm.
you tell me how you first became acquainted with him and maybe just give us a hint of
Mm-hmm.
some of the information that he
Oh,
shared
sure.
with you that you published?
Yes, as I said, I was working with the magazine Spirit Speaks,
Yes.
and I generated my own little newsletter. This was way back in the paper days, okay, and where I was channeling Obahan. Connie McDerwin from Bath, England, right? An old friend of mine. I used to be part of her coven. So, I would ask her things and she would tell me things. And then someone noticed the newsletter and said, "Can you channel so and so?" And I did. And then, as I said, when this man asked me to channel Nikola Tesla, I said, "Nikola Tesla, do not leave. You're telling me the secrets of the universe." One of the things that he is presenting is the multidimensional physics. He sees physical reality and its physics in a very different way than most uh, physicists do at present. For instance, he says that gravity has less force than you might imagine it could. You need a whole planet to hold down, all the things on it. But you can take a little magnet and pick up something, and anti-gravity, right? It picks something up and it that little bit of magnetism is enough to defeat a whole planet full of gravity. He says the reason for that is because gravity intersects the dimension of physical reality at a slant. The second book that we worked with, we discussed what are called torsion fields, which is where um, the divine being uh, manifests itself in reality, but there are various ways of turning and twisting and shaping the divine energy into like numeration. There's a dimension of identity, there's the dimension of the zero dimension, and the dimension of primordial chaos. Those three dimensions are the most important dimensions. The dimension of the zero dimension, you might call the divine dimension. The dimension of identity is the only dimension, the only torsion field that can affect all other dimensions and fields. And then you have the dimension of primordial chaos, which is, of course, the tremendously highly creative void from which everything comes. So these three dimensions create reality. The torsion fields make distinctions and differences, such as number, such as let's see, uh, let's see, number is one thing, and there's also the paralight, which is when people have a near-death experience, they talk about a light that is very, very bright, but it doesn't glare. That is the paralight, and it is actually at its core vibrationless light. We have also presented a number of fascinating meditations. And in the second book, we discuss the real nature of magic. Now, I don't happen to be gifted in magic, but those who are will find their way through. There's also a way of creating, uh, uh, let's see, sometimes it's hard to remember. Uh, okay. Also, uh, a way, but the meditations are mostly in the first and the second books. Yes. In the third book, includes a great many different um, discussions of things that um, human beings are interested in, and anything from pain to how to diffuse negative magic. He also had a lovely time where he shared with me what he had learned from Carl Jung, and so he he has much to say about the nature of reality in a different way than most people see reality at this time.
Hmm. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I was really curious. I guess I should have rephrased my question because I have a friend who was telling me about their friend who was also starting to channel Tesla. And they said when he
Yes.
first started channeling, it was
Mhm.
just like he was a chatterbox. He would come into
Yes.
his dreams, he would come into his meditations, and
Mhm.
that was more of I should have rephrased that for you. And I was just kind of curious if that's sort of his mode of operation when he is
Oh.
working with us.
Mhm. Well, that may be the way he's working with that particular person, but uh, he will kind of nudge me and tell me, I really want to talk about, the three essential aspects of reality. Okay, you know, and then I type it into the computer and I'm just listening. I'm just downloading, the information directly. But no, he doesn't. He doesn't bother. He doesn't. But he loves his $12 words for sure. He uses every ounce of my vocabulary, and every time I check, it's clear that he was using the exact precise word for what he means.
Mhm.
So when I'm channeling him. I'm aware of what he's saying, and I'm typing it in and making sure that it's correct. And look at it 3 months later, and it's like, wow, we did this. But yeah, he is around. He is truly enjoying being timeless and spaceless.
Mm.
He is connecting with a great many different people on this planet, partly because his own life, in physical form, was actually very frustrating. There are alternate realities where people did listen to him and didn't monetize everything, so that those realities are, very lush and joyful and prosperous. But he could not understand the the greed and the monetization and the control that many people have with okay, we have this good thing, we've got to make it precious so that people will work for it, right? He couldn't understand that.
Okay. So after you wrote the books with him, did
Mm-hmm.
you start receiving the extraterrestrial visitations? I know that you said that you had contact since the very
Mm-hmm.
young age, but
Yes,
did they begin to come to you more and more, and then they started sharing information?
yes, yes. Particularly like when I was 14,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then I had dreams of them. I had dreams of their ships. I had dreams of Thoyantir. And my world history teacher, when I was 14, was giving us a project of, imagine two countries and just figure out, why they're having an argument between each other, and what are the consequences, et cetera, et cetera. And so I obviously tuned into Thoyantir's world, and I just drew all of these pictures of his people and of, you know, uh, little things like, the a little drum or something that he would use. And there's a very specific drawing, but I, just went to town with that. But as I said, the shock of my mother dying so suddenly, I that was a watershed, because I had to decide: do I believe in what I've been perceiving in my meditations, or do I just say, oh, the universe is horrible, and um, there's no point to it. Uh, but I chose to stay with realizing that the divine being is always present.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were with me off and on, up until mm, my 20s. And then I had a stronger connection with them in my 20s. But then life happened, and, my father died, and there's all sorts of stuff. Uh, Life just happens, right? So it wasn't until the mid 90s, where 1990s, where I finally understood what they were trying to say, which is, we want to present our cultures. We want to present who we are. We want to present the uh, benign um, cultures of the extraterrestrials, and the intelligence and the love and the graciousness of these beings. And so I started working with them in the mid 1990s.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned three councils earlier. Do you take people to each of these councils during a session? Do you help them to travel to the councils?
I've not had the opportunity very often, but I certainly can. I did take a person actually, to Diet Barney's world, the desert world, because DeBarney at that time was he was a horticulturalist, and so he really wanted to show off his greenhouse. And so we had, looking at this lovely plant, that lovely plant, the other lovely plant, and he had one plant where he, uh, you know, he put it on our etheric not physical, but etheric bodies. And but my friend at the time had a little allergic reaction, so I had to run around and get the antidote really quick. So, but yes, I can definitely take people with,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and mm, that that would demand probably a Zoom meeting of some kind, but I've not had the opportunity, and I do enjoy it very much.
Okay. Well, if you'll let people know how to get a hold of you, you may have your phone ringing off the hook with people wanting to go on these adventures with you.
Mhm.
And I do want you to give all of your contact information because, in addition to these types of journeys, you would be able to work with people with the Akasha. And do you want to share
Mhm.
some of the other things that you would offer to people?
Okay. I have channeled and can channel people who have passed after all those all those statesmen and authors and others. you know, I can pretty much channel anybody if they're available. Not everybody is available, but I can pretty much channel anyone who's available. In that sense, I'm a medium. Uh, I can channel, specific people. Like if you want to talk to, uh, an author or uh, you know, uh, an artist or someone, then I can do that. The Akashic Records, as I say, I've been working as a consultant since 2008, and I was trained with Lisa Barnett, who
Mhm.
also lives in uh, California, and she does have classes. Okay, so it's the Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, and we have let's see. Also, of course, then the ET postcards from home, ET picture postcards from home. I have as I say, as you say, the opportunity of taking people on journeys. But the main thing that we want to present is the connections of people to their ET colleagues, family, friends, others, so that uh, the citizen ambassadors is like there's a gentle bringing together of the different cultures. Okay. Uh,
Now, when
mm,
you're talking about citizen ambassadors, can you elaborate
mhm,
on that just a little bit more?
mhm. Well, a citizen ambassador is someone who's, a citizen, right? They've not necessarily been trained, and they're not an official ambassador. But, when you go to a different country, you are automatically a citizen ambassador in the sense that you need to be careful how you act in that culture and how you work with people, and to learn the language, and to learn uh, you know in some cultures a gesture is an affront, and the other in some other cultures that same gesture is no problem. So you have to work with understanding, uh, but that's again why uh, this connection is made. But to be a citizen ambassador does demand that you want to do this from a heart reason, not from yeah, we want your technology and we want to blow up the world with it. I want to be specialer than anybody else. uh, I want you to tell me the secrets of the world, etc. uh, so that um, you know to be a true citizen ambassador, you have to be receptive to other cultures, other people, other beings.
Mhm.
And you need to be heart centered and soul centered, and to understand how life is so precious and so special. And that is what is needed right now, is to remind human beings that they are special. We're not the dregs of the universe. We are particularly special. We have a tremendous amount of courage. We have a tremendous amount of passion, uh, not only creative passion or a physical passion, but the soul passion, the passion that says, let me go as far away as I can from the divine being
Mm.
and then remember and return home. So there are a great many ETs who think very highly of us. And to connect with such beings, just the connection is enough to shift things, is enough to change things.
Beautiful. Let me go ahead and open up at this time to see if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask you. You can either raise your hand, you can come off mute, you can even put them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask for you. Okay, I'm not seeing any
Okay.
I
questions.
got a
Susie,
question.
you have a question.
I got a question. I just couldn't find my chat or my raise arm thing. What was the three different things that um the three the third one I didn't get. I had to step away. The three different things that were given by Tesla.
Yeah. Okay. There's first the zero, what he calls the zero dimension, which is kind of like the divine dimension. It's in every place and in no one place. It's
Is that
everywhere.
like the void? Is that like the void?
No, the void is the second one, which is
Oh, okay. Okay.
the dimension of primordial chaos, which is where the all creativity comes. As someone else said, the creativity that creates itself. So this void is the source of all that is manifest. But the third and most essential dimension is the dimension of identity. And the dimension of identity affects both of the other dimensions. Human beings don't realize it, but we create gods and goddesses all the time. You
Yeah.
know, we have that tremendous capacity because of our identities as human beings. We have been given this grace to be human. So those three are the essential dimensions from which everything is expressed.
So is there a difference between this third dimensional expression that you're talking about and our ego? Our ego isn't a part of that. That's just we get that in line, right? But
Mm,
the third dimensional identity, that's a big part of it, right?
yes, the ego is a part of your identity. Now, you can train your ego. There's a big difference between a nasty little yap, 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 yap dog that bites people's ankles and a great big, you know, African elephant who moves slowly and carefully. You can have a big ego if it's trained, right? But that your ego is part of your identity. It is part of being human. It, you can train it, you can ignore it, you can let it run the show, or you can run its show, but it's necessary, as a necessary part of your human identity.
Okay, so grateful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions for Francesca?
And can I make a comment, please?
Yes,
Yes, please.
please.
Okay. I am out in Colorado and I met Francesca years ago up in Seattle, Washington area. And I have been with her. I have her 5 books on Tesla. And
Mm-hmm.
I am thrilled. I also had her do a channeling for me.
Mm-hmm.
And where did I come from, Francesca? And yes, I'm an Arcturian, but that is because my planet ascended. And before that, I was from here. And before that, I was from here. I recommend that you work with Francesca. She's absolutely amazing. And
Mm.
so,
Yeah,
Francesca.
yeah.
Thank
It
you.
is my it is my great joy to channel the beings that, the um, those ETs that you have have forgotten, perhaps, and uh, as Linnea will say, it is such a joy to hear from your old friends or
Mm.
your teachers or your family members. Um, and the utter joy sometimes. Some of the ETs have missed us. We've
Mm.
been down on this planet for so long. It's kind of like, oh, you're here. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, please.
Oh,
God.
beautiful. Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing that about your experience with the
Mhm.
reading. Do you want to tell people one more time how they can find you?
Okay, well, let me see if this works. I'm going to try and copy and paste something into the chat. Let's see if this works.
That'll be great. And then if you can also verbally share that for our people who are listening
Okay,
to us on
yes,
Spotify or Amazon, etc.
okay. So I also write children's books, but that's another story. Okay, I have three websites. One is YourAkashicWisdom.com. Okay. NikolaTeslaChanneled.com and ETs with Francesca. Oh, she has she has it up on her phone. Okay, so ETs with Francesca.com, NikolaTeslaChanneled.com, and Your Akashic
Mm.
Wisdom.com. So those are my three uh, websites, and they are open. And I also have a Facebook author page, so you can look for me that way. Uh, let's see, anything else I could possibly offer? Let's see. Mm, let's see. As I say, I do have some children's books too, which you will see if you look on the Facebook author page. I have three, and we have turned two of them into an audio file. I'm working on book number 4, where I took suggestions from the children of one of my clients, who one of them wanted, I want a story with a dragon, a knight, a wizard, and a cat monster. And so the story told itself. So I feel most gratified and happy when people give me projects to do.
It's nice. Well, let me ask, are there any final words of wisdom that you would like to leave people with tonight?
Mm-hmm. The final words of wisdom are, I've already said, but I'll say it again. Human beings are not the dregs of the universe. This world was never meant to be a world of pain. It was never meant to be a world of suffering or loss. But what happened was we had so much fun uh, playing with physical reality. A great number of us said, hmm, I think I could do this with my hand tied behind my back. you know, and so okay, you can meet that challenge, and okay, I'm gonna try it, with uh, you know, a big heavy weight on my left foot, and then I could do that. Is that we got so involved in challenges that we just got ourselves so wrapped up in things, and then we forgot that to be a hero, you need the best heroes are the one with the worst enemies. And so the universe said, "Oh, you want some really nasty enemies? Okay, you know, go right ahead. You know, I'll help you create lots and lots of nasty bad enemies." And then, but meanwhile, back in our hearts, we know that we are loving beings of great light. We know in our hearts that we matter, that we count, that we are creative, that we are joyful. I agree with Jane Roberts Seth, who says, "You are the otters of the universe." There is so much joy that is so locked up under fear and under worry and under terror and under, you know, there's so much joy locked up that is, if we just cracked it open a little bit, the world would be changed so quickly. And it will be changed so quickly because people are opening up their hearts and opening up their souls and opening up their true selves so that everyone can relax into who they truly are.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your being here with us tonight, and I appreciate everyone who has been here with us and with for your questions. I appreciate you showing up tonight. I appreciate everybody watching us. So thank you so
Yes.
much for being here with us. Again, you can always check the replays on the Conscious Awakening Network YouTube channel. So, you have been listening and watching Francesca Toman on the Conscious Awakening Network. Please check us out and join us week after week. So until we're all back together again next time, namaste, much love, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks so much and have a beautiful evening. Bye,
Th-
everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Thank you so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Francesca.